This is my recording for Papi no Negai, a one-shot manga by Kaiu Shirai and Posuka Demizu. This was published around February 2016 when Kaiu Shirai and Posuka Demizu, the authors for the Promised Neverland, worked together for the very first time. What I love about Papi no Negai is that it became somewhat of a basis for the story for Promised Neverland when Posuka Demizu and Kaiu Shirai collaborated for the very first time, and it was published on February 18, 2016, before the serialization or publication of Promised Neverland on August 1st, 2016. Basically, Papi no Negai is like it has elements of artificial intelligence, wish, scientists, seclusion, escape. All themes are recurring on the Promised Neverland in the series. And what I love about this one shot is it's tragic enough to make the reader feel for the characters of the story. There's only two characters, basically an artificial intelligent, a robot who has been made into a human by the scientists, and the scientist lives in this far-off world outside Earth, or outside planet Earth, and he's like a recluse or a hermit because he doesn't fit in. He feels that he doesn't fit in on this world because people are weird. They eat with their stomach. Their stomachs have mouths, or their bellies have mouths, and it's disgusting enough to make me think that, oh, this is a really weird take on the story. But I really love how the artists and the mangaka, Posuka Demizu and Kaiu Shirai, collaborated on this storyline because it really sets the foundation for their future stories. I mean, with stories like Promised Neverland, I've never read such a beautiful story ever in my life, to the point that I've decided to cover the story Promised Neverland chapter by chapter in the manga. But Papi no Negai lets you feel enough emotions like anger, bitterness, strife, and struggle, those kinds of things, to make you think that maybe had this been a series, would it have been better? That's the question. Would it have been better if this story about artificial intelligence, machines, and robots, if this was serialized in Shonen Jump? And I think, becoming a one-shot, I think it's sufficient enough to say that I'm satisfied with this, because I don't want weird things like this. However, Promised Neverland is already weird in its own way, and it's already tragic enough. And then this story, Papi no Negai, or Papi's Wish, I really can't imagine where the story would have gone if it's not a one-shot story. What elements would have the authors added or removed? What themes would they have incorporated? Because friendship is clearly there, and the theme of survival is clearly there. And then, of course, the wish, of course, for Papi's wish to become a real human being instead of being just the toaster, so that he can help his master, the scientist, the scientist whose name is Takashi. I love it. I really think that it's adorable in terms of its art style and the character designs, and the world building reminds me of Meet the Robinsons, because everything is futuristic and everything is far off into space. And so I'm glad that I was able to read the very first manga that Promised Neverland, Yakusoku no Neverland creators made for the very first time. It's heartwarming enough, and it's a little bit tragic, but not as tragic as this Despair Trigger, which I have just read. So let me know what you think about Papi no Negai, or Papi's Wish, and how does it fare to you? How do you think this manga is? If this is serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump, would you have kept reading it, or would you have stopped? So let me know, and thank you for listening to this, and have a wonderful day. Bye.